definitely coming into this for Group A, or we know as Group Shantae. This will be JTNoriMaki's second race for the tournament, looking to get his first win. So we'll see how he pulls it out.
They start right now. NoriMaki with a few seconds of delay there. The first part of the game, you're going to see that we are in the pirate mode. Pirate mode. That is a kind of new game plus that you have all abilities or weapons of risky boots. So you can use the risky boots, the pistol, the hat, and they're really fast in this part of the stage.
Yeah, definitely. The pirate equipment will be obviously their major form of getting around. The risky boots themselves will be the major point of transportation, but the weapons themselves in general do mesh very well. So you'll be seeing them conjoining all the abilities together to basically fly through this run before your very eyes.
Yeah, and both runners are really close right now. Are in the screen of these immigrants shot you with their machine guns, and now they are activating the pipe balls. It's a quick way to keep that mine and blow up the floor and going down to get ammo baron.
Yes, indeed, they'll be making their way to baron soon. They'll be trying to hopefully get a drop. As you know, so they're running through a couple of the guards. And the main one they want is a monster milk, but it is a very rare item to get. But there's a possibility of a pipe ball as well. They also, probably as you notice, they hopped over Sky and Bolo there. That is intentional, just skips like half a second to a second of a text box popping up, so that will just save them some time. And basically how the ammo baron works, may as well quickly just run into this. He's basically an RNG boss. You could do one of three things. You could charge, you could shoot a black cannonball, you could shoot a red cannonball at you. Ideally, you want the red one to shoot straight away, but we also know that if he shoots a black cannonball, he will not charge for that phase. Sorry, my voice just went there for a minute.
Okay, Gavit had a better RNG than Nori. Nori had some charges for an ammo baron. That is not what we wanted. We want to ammo baron shoot the red ball. And Gavit had better luck than Nori, but both runners are just for few seconds of difference, so not big problem. Maybe later on the run we're going to see more possibility to seconds of difference. No, shoutouts to the Shantae, the risky top trap.
Risky top trap indeed. I mean, she's got to be a strong woman. I mean, how the hell did she get it done from Mimic's workshop? I can't even figure that out myself, but go risky, go.
Now, Gavit is now waiting for the cutscene for the birth of the first cackle bat. And the cackle bat battle is not hard to do, but it requires precise movement and get some luck that the cackle bat doesn't jump so much. It was a great battle of cabbage. Now let's see Nori. Nori used do the risky shuffle for hit the cackle bat.
Yeah, it's a good way to score some early damage as well against the cackle bat. I mean, the risky shuffle charge, when you hit your first enemy, it will do about 15 points of damage, but it also has 1 point of damage for each consecutive enemy that you hit in a row. Which you may notice when they, as they make their way going towards the scarecrow fields, and hoping for a few more drops, because they'll be going through the scarecrows and hoping for the best, really. Looking for super pipe ball or monster milk are the two major ones, but there's a chance for some food items that they can use for an animation skip, or using for animation skip as they pick up other items throughout the game. So let's just hope that the RNG goes well.
Yeah, well, now Cabbage had the Sky library card, and Nori is doing the force save. You have to do this save because the game demands. Oh, super pipe ball!
Oh, right out the gate. Nice.
Nice drop there. Now let's see Nori's drop. That is really rare that this Skyro dropped you a super pipe ball. It's really rare. It's mega weird if that happened.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it will give him not much in terms of time, but it will give him a gem advantage. Being able to get that super pipe ball early will save him 40 gems in the shop, which we would usually purchase a super pipe ball for a later boss in the run. So Cabbage is going to be very happy with that drop, and it's going to do him some benefits for later on.
Yeah, well, you just saw that Shantae just jumped over the snake and he choked against the ceiling. Well, that is a glitch that allows you to duplicate your drops. So you need 3 flesh pops, and well, with this glitch, one snake can drop you 2 of them, and you have 1 extra flesh pop that can allow you to do an animation skip. Well, Turkey just explained how the animation skip works.
Yes, right. Well, the animation skip, when you use a healing item such as a potion or a piece of food as you're collecting another item, it basically does some form of override. So instead of waiting for the animation of Shantae holding the item above her whilst collecting it, it will then cancel it out and use the animation of you eating the piece of food or using the potion. So it just knocks off a few seconds for every time they're able to do that. So that's a good little bit of saving time, as Nori showed it when he was getting the I forgot what it's called. It's the brochure, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, now Nori, thanks to that animation skip, is now in the lead for a few seconds only, but well, he is the leader right now. Well, let's see if he's going for extra monies. I think not. Both runners just know that orcs in the Toggle Forest. And well, now Shantae has the Forbidden map, Forbidden Island map. Now we're going to the Saliva Island, the first island to visit. And well, no drop for both runners at the way back. And now
Actually, RNG is a thing.
Yeah, the drop in this game is a huge thing. You depend a lot of the drop in this game, and well, obviously the RNG. So both runners are in the shopping. Sky give you 100 of monies, and well, you have to buy 3 pilot flares and 1 pack ball. I didn't notice if Cabbage bought a 4th pilot flare, considering that he has already a super pipe ball. I think not.
Yeah, he did actually pick up another super pipe ball there, probably more for a safety purpose. Depending on how he's going to handle his item management, which is very key into running Pyrus Curse, knowing how to handle your items based on what gets dropped throughout your run. He's probably got that there as just one less item he needs to worry about. So if he does get a little trolled later on with certain drops, he's at least got that extra one there just to help him out.
Yeah, well, now they're heading to meet Twitch and Vinegar, and Shantae had to hit this big ham, and now she has the steam, the ham sting. Sorry, a lot of that meme steam hams. Sorry, the ham sting.
Oh, good.
And
so
now
you wrong with a bit of ham.
Yeah, and now we have to going up. Oh, Cabbage took a hit for this frog. He's trying to do the... Oh, he got it! He got the animation skip falling into the waterfall. That is really tricky thing to do.
Yeah, it can be finicky, but I mean, getting that cut is an extra bit of time save. It just skips the animation of the hamster go travelling towards the Gigalumix's nose. It just goes straight up there. Also, you probably notice they pause and unpause multiple times. That's actually to skip the animation of the Gigalumix blinking as well. So getting both of them in a run just knocks
Yeah.
off a decent chunk of time to give. That'll help him pull him back in as well, because this race so far pretty close. It may still be early doors, but so far both runners giving it their all here.
Yeah, they are pretty close right now. Cap is having some problems here, but no big deal. And now Shantae kills an old man with this Petrify spell. And this allow you to get the first dungeon of the game, the Split Maze. Now we have to do a risky shuffle for the bag, and we're going to unlock this retro dungeon. That is the dungeon for the first Shantae game, and we're going to get 2 extra keys. What is for this extra case? Well, Turkey can explain it.
Yes, gathering these keys early on actually will save time later, much later on. Well, about midway through the run. Keys are not mandatory to any individual dungeon, so they're aiming to stockpile these keys up as they go through for when they reach a place known as Tanline Temple. It's basically going to enable them to skip several keys there, which would usually take up quite a bit of time. So that's pretty much what they're going for here.
Cabbage is pretty low on health. Yeah, that worries me now. He has only now 2 HP from Shantae, so that is really risky what he's taking now. He has his auto potion, but it's not ideal that he used the auto potion at this part of the game.
Yeah, especially this early on in the run. I mean, you lose it at this point, so it could put a bit of a worry in his mind. I mean, he may consider putting a save at some point during the run if that does be the case, but hopefully that won't happen for him. He'll be able to keep it for a bit longer.
Yeah, well, now he's 4 HP, and at least he has some health drop. And now Nori is in this kind of crack people that, if you wonder why he's hitting with the scimitar, because the scimitar can hit them. The both craft people at the same time, but not the cannon. The cannons just strike one of them. And it's not hard to do this strat, it just needs some practice. And just think of timing, nothing else.
Exactly.
Now,
oh, sorry,
Nori in the Cyclops plan. Now you got the first quick kill. Let's see the second one. Okay, you got good already.
Alright, nice. Yeah, Cyclops plant in his second phase, he could either go to the left or to the right, so it's literally a 50-50 chance. But obviously if they can go to the right, there is a sound cue that they'll be using as well to know when he's going to move as well. So as soon as they hear that note, they can jump straight away and go ahead and get themselves trapped between the roof and score that major damage to take them down.
Oh, Kevin's having some problems at the first phase of the Cyclops plants, but he defeated the Cyclops plant. Now defeated. Nori was really close to the shameful squid heart. It was really close.
Oh, squid a shame. Oh no.
Oh no. Well, now with this, you have the Spiderweb Island, and this going to lead you to the favorite part of every speedrunner of this game. Run, Rollytaps.
Yay!
Yay! Hooray! Well, this part is you have to be very careful in the Spiderweb Island because the ghost took you 2 of damage, and well, the air knockback of Shantae is pretty scary because you can't react when you get hit in the air. So Nori is getting a good climb there, and let's see Cabbage.
Yeah, the ghosts themselves, I mean, fortunately, we have a good idea of where they could spawn. It seems like they have like a vicinity around them, of potentially where they could spawn with each one. So we could sort of manipulate them in order to play them to our favour. But here in Run Run, it's a fun land that we all love to play. This is the game's essential version of an auto-scroller. Hopefully they won't get hit, because every time they get hit they'll be sent back to the beginning of that respectful screen. It's full of many wonderful things, such as grabby hands and licky tongues and kissy robots, which you'll see a bit later on in this section.
Well, for the memes, is called to the Old Spice section.
Old Spice, Old Spice.
What a great meme. I discovered this game for that meme, so it's just a funny thing that I have to confess. Well, as Turkey said, this part of the game is everything is insta-kill, and if you die in this part, you're going back to the beginning of this room. So you have to be very careful, and well, just pray for the RNG being good, because some things are really RNG, like the tongues, the little Stevens that came later, and the tombstones. Oh god, that's the tombstones. I hate them.
Yeah, the tombstones can be a little finicky at first. Fortunately, we do know which ones have the potential to stand up. However, it is RNG as to when they actually will stand up. So pretty much a rule of thumb is simply we will jump any of the tombstones that we know for a fact are going to stand up. At least that way it just covers them up, and they can at least traverse it a bit safer. Also, just to mention a bit earlier on in the second tongue room, if I remember rightly, you probably noticed when they dropped down, they did a little bit of a shuffle. That's to manipulate the tongue underneath to activate. So if they can get the cut past the first tongue, then they can run straight past the second. It's one of the few time saves that you can control within this area.
Well, at the moment, Nori is having a really nice and big run Raditops at Deathless. You can explain that this grabby hand didn't kill him, because he jumped over this hand and it didn't kill him. That has an explanation. Well, Turkey is the most experimented runner than me.
Well, the stake jump, as we know, it's sort of become a little weird thing between some of us runners, where we kind of said, if you don't do a stake jump in a run, your run is not valid. So you will see some runners will do it intentionally just because we naturally do it on purpose, but you're pretty much jumping into them before their frames are actually active, so they don't actually kill you. But if you do slip up a little bit, they can have you, and trust me, it's not a nice feeling.
So, I mean, it's a swag movement, right?
Not too sure. I think they become active pretty much once the hand's fully extended and starts to move over.
Well, Nori's having a really nice run Raditops. Zero death right now, and now he's in the last room of the run Raditops. So let's see if he can get a deathless.
Yeah, that final room there pretty much puts both runners' knowledge of the run Raditops section all into one play. So everything that they've already encountered will be repeated. Well, they'll show back up here. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. And yeah, it's a bit of a painful thing to get hit towards the end here. I mean, it can cost you a good 20 to 30 seconds of your run. So that's the last thing any of our runners would like to see happen to them today.
Now Nori is out of run Raditops. Let's see. Now Cabbage is in the last room, and this is the most largest run of this stage, of this part of the game, the run Raditops. Now, he failed the risky shuffle there, Nori, no problem. Now Shantae is speaking with code, and he needs some squid oil to fix his... I forgot the word in English. Sorry.
The wagon. It's all right.
The wagon.
Don't worry. I'm surprised I even knew myself.
Well,
yeah, the
now...
squid oil is something that they picked up a little earlier in the run. Pretty much brought it back on Scuttletown. So yeah, it just saves them that extra time they managed to get that earlier than you're supposed to intend to in normal mode.
Exactly. Now, Cabbage is just out of Run Raditops, and so that too. So, real good Run Raditops there.
Yeah, both runners doing very well in Run, not taking any deaths as you said. So, GG to them for that one.
Yeah. Now Nori is in Crackle Tower, and well, Cabbage is having the Predifile spell, where, well, the most important thing of that is it smells. The shovel thing, it smells.
It always smells. I don't know why. Poe, clean it for Christ's sake.
But that is the most important information that you need in this game. It smells. Now, Nori is in this part of the dungeon that you have to defeat 3 skeletons and a succubus, or bat waifu if you want to call it like that, to get an extra key. So he had a real good fight with the succubus. Now let's see Cabbage. Apparently he doesn't have a pike ball, but he have a extra super pike ball, so we're going to see if he's going to use it or not.
Yeah, but
Okay.
so there is another key they could have gotten apart from the one in Lower Cackle, but it's usually the one that most runners would go for, mainly for that Bat Lady. She has a chance of dropping a Super Monster Milk, a Super Pipe Ball, or a Pipe Flare. Of all things that you don't really want to see, they'll be aiming to get the Monster Milk, hopefully if the game decides to be generous to them. Unfortunately, Nori got a bit duped there and didn't get anything at all from us, so...
Whoa.
Hopefully RNG will work out better for him a little later on.
Cabbage is getting a really sick RNG, and now he's got a Super Monster Milk.
Wow.
That is amazing. It doesn't have to farm so much in the Timeline Island.
Yeah,
Nori...
Oh, sorry, carry on, man.
Yeah, Nori is now in the... no problem. Nori is in the Emperor's Spider, and that is a really tricky fight. And he's having some problem to get stuck in the hitbox. It's really hard to get that getting stuck in the hitbox, right, Turkey?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of the scarier boss fights to actually execute at high speed. Essentially, they're having a game of chicken with her. What they're trying to do is they're trying to stay in that hitbox, and as they take, or just before they take damage, they'll hopefully whip the hair at the right time. This will cause a stun animation rather than a knockback animation, which will also replenish their cannon strikes, and then they can essentially keep hopping there, scoring major damage against the spider to bring it down quickly. But they are at a big risk, especially on 2 heart runs, because of the fact that most times when executed, well, you would usually end up on about half a heart to a quarter heart left, so there is a big chance of losing your auto potion at this point.
Yeah, Nori didn't activate the auto potion, unfortunately. Well, we need to save the auto potion in case of for Pirate Master. Let's see Cabbage. Cabbage is going really risky. He has only 1 HP, and he has some chances to activate the Super Pike Ball. I mean the auto potion. Oh man, he got activated. But no problem, because he defeated the spider. So that's a little problem. And well, now Nori is in the Timeline Island, and he got a drop for a bubble shield. That is nice. That is essential too.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, Cabbage does have the better item management at this point. RNG has been favouring him a little bit more. I mean, he may even consider, after losing that auto potion, potentially re-picking up another auto potion at the next shop, just to give him that security back. So we'll see when he gets to the shop what he decides to do.
Now Nori is in the yeah. Now he have the X-ray glasses, and now he going back to Saliva Island for this forget this mummy sketch. So there is in Saliva Island. Oh, the channel is still in Metro Fusion? No. Never mind.
Never mind. You're good. Yeah, there'll be there's 3 of those mummy sketches that they need to find. That'll give them a passcode to enter Tanline Temple, as we mentioned earlier. One of the main things of collecting the keys early, that is going to be the temple that those keys are going to come into play, and pretty much knock the temple down by probably about 2/3, roughly, I believe.
Yeah. Well. Now is what happened to?
Oh. Yeah, I've already just looked over there as well. It looks like kabbagegame may have had a game crash happen to him.
Oh no!
Oh
No!
no!
And you've been on a PvP. That is sad. It's I've been really afraid for having this thing. I mean, a game crash. Oh,
yeah, unfortunately, a game crash can happen with the PC version of this game. I mean, I'm a console runner myself, so I'm not fully sure exactly what triggers it. But it seems to be certain screen transitions in particular that can have an issue when I think it's something to do with hitting inputs or something along that line. But I'm not fully sure exactly what happened. But unfortunately, that's forced him now to go back to the beginning of the run, which is going to be a big damager for him for this run.
Yeah, it was being a really good race. It's just Cabbage is just behind, but with this game crash, he's way back of Nori. So that is a shame because, well, we've been hoping that didn't see never a game crash in this tourney. And unfortunately, that happened today. Well, that's it's horrible news for Cabbage.
Yeah, that is a big shame, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not sure what he's going to be doing from this point now. I mean, he'll probably continue with the run and try and pull something back.
He's continuing with the run, never forfeit. That is pretty good for him, never forfeit. Well, I'm pretty sad for this thing, but well, Nori now is in the Tanline Island. Now he's going for the temple, and well, now we're going to play Metal Gear Shantae. So basically, this part of the game, you can't use any item. I mean, you can use the super rifle and the risky guns. So you have to avoid the wards of this temple because if they see you, they will throw you back to the beginning of the whole level. So you have to be really careful with them.
Oh yeah, indeed. I mean, as they're getting caught here, could cost you quite a bit of time, especially if you get caught towards the end of the stealth elements. I mean, getting caught by one of the last guards can cost our runners basically roughly a minute to a minute and 5 seconds. So they may play a bit safe in here.
Yeah, especially in a tourney, you don't want to go for a risky strat in a tourney. That is a really high bet to do. And wow, Nori is going for the one cycle wards over there. What a madman!
That is a pretty risky thing to do there.
Yeah, and he done it really, really good. That is what a madman. And now, remember the two extra keys that you had that we get in the beginning of the game? Well, we're going to use here in this temple to get free Rudy Tops, Sky, and Risky. Not precisely in that order, but you got that idea. So the plot says in this part, well, Shantae is taking so long, so Risky just go to search her, and Sky just decided to search a way to bring back Barracuda Joe, and Roditas, for some reason, is there. I don't know why. I don't remember why she's there, but well, at least you have a Space Princess Roditas.
Yeah, all been captured by some guy who really can't see clearly. As you would have seen, the real princess finally came back, and it's all like, how'd you make that kind of mistake?
Oh, thanks, Tina. Roddy said that she fell out.
Oh, poor Roddy.
Poor Roddy.
Come join the fun.
Cabbage is doing the normal way to get the first dungeon. Well, I don't blame him. He's probably out about the game crash. I don't blame him. Anyway.
I'm not too sure. I mean, the ring is certainly something you don't need in pirate mode run, so I'm not too sure if he may not be going all out at this point. He's probably already accepted that his run is pretty much, unfortunately, gone, which is a very big shame. Especially, I mean, this is his opening race as well, so to have that, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really bad luck there, and well, this happened only in the PC version, which is really risky for us that we run in the PC version to get a PC crash. I mean, the game crash. Now Nori is in the dungeon. Now he's doing the risky shuffle to get this cactus and this mantis. That you have to be really careful with this mantis because they throw you, they attack you and they hit you 4 HP of damage.
Yeah, the enemies in that room are very, very strong. They can pretty much rip your health in an instant if they want to.
Nori nearly got the one cycle. Well, it was nearly to be crushed, but he realized, okay, I didn't get it, and you play safely.
Yeah, unfortunately, went a little late on the charge to be able to get that one cycle crusher room. Very wise call to break the block and keep himself safe.
Now Nori is in the Squid Baron battle, and he's only using a monster milk and a pike ball, which is it's a huge problem because, well, Squid Baron has some HP, and well, you need the super monster milk to kill him really quickly. And Nori is out of super monster milk and super pike ball. He didn't get both of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, his item lock and RNG has not been very favourable at all. So he's making do with what he's given and just trying to get the fight over as soon as he can. But I mean, he's still got the rest of the run. There are a few gem points that he could use to help up his fortune and purchase the items he requires, rather than hoping on the RNG for the remainder of the run.
Well, and he got it. He defeated with that stuff Squid Baron. He ran out of monster milk, so he had to use another pike ball. And now let's see what he's going to do right now about how to get the other bosses, because he's not with Monster Milk and Super Monster Milk and Super Pipeball. So that is a huge problem.
Yeah, indeed that is. I mean, item management, as mentioned earlier, very important in running this game, and being able to keep on top of that and knowing what options are left over to you, depending on what you're given, is very vital to being able to execute this run well. So we'll see what he decides to go with. I would assume he's probably going to farm a few gems up and then do one more additional shop and go from there.
He did a shop and bought two Super Monster Milk.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, as you mentioned, Tina, Cabbage, yeah, I think it's safe to say he's accepted defeat on this one. Actually doing an out-of-bounds trick there in the Wetman room. So that will effectively invalidate the run for certain now. But as I said, I think he's pretty much accepted defeat on this one. I mean, unfortunately, it was with something that was against his power. But I say, to lose a run based on those means is always very disheartening.
Yeah, well, nothing that he can do right now. Well, now Nori is in the Mudbug Island, and this stage is just precise movement in this part of the game. Is just memorizing where to do a cannon jump and where to glide, and just memory, and it took a lot of practice.
Yeah, they're able to get through in one fell swoop, essentially, apart from potentially in the middle of the area. But there are some low ceilings that they could easily bonk their head on. Unfortunately, if you get caught at the wrong point in that area, I'll say enemies on that screen does at least half a heart of damage. So getting caught up in them, you could lose quite a bit of health pretty quickly. So you have to be very careful when traversing Mudbog.
Yeah, and in this part of the game, you're going to gain a lot of damage of the enemies. Now the enemies start to hitting with 4 of damage, 4 HP of damage, and well, you're going to all the run with 8 of HP. So you have to be very careful avoiding the enemies in this part of the game. Now, Oh, continue.
So I think we're about to be on the same wavelength in terms of the coins that they're collecting at this point. There's three coins within the Village of Lost Souls that they need to collect to have a nice, fun little game of heads and tails with 3 little gamers. That you may have noticed Nori passing by. This section is RNG, unfortunately, but there is a failsafe that WayForward did put into it that we know if they fail the game 3 times in a row, then the 4th game is always going to be a guaranteed win. And then they can at least move on from there. So they're hoping for a decent cycle going into that.
No, Cabbage got a game crash, so he's now doing some fun of it. Probably.
I've just looked over as well. He's done what we've joked about, what we would call true ending. He actually, I can't believe he just did that. I'm guessing you've got to have done that on purpose. Obviously. Basically, he's I can't believe actually I'm going to be explaining this to me. But crawling into the loading screen where Rotty Tops is at the beginning of Rum and Rotty Tops causes the game to crash. Not sure why, but wow. GG character. True ending. Beauty.
Okay, that was real funny. Oh, I didn't realize what kind of RNG got Nori with the 3 gamers.
No, so yeah, maybe we need to pay attention to the run here because I missed that as well, unfortunately. Whew, okay. Right, let's get back to it.
Yeah. Well, now Nori gave the manly mask to get into the ovulet, and well, now we're going to face Dragon. Oh, Dragon, massively misspelled monster. And well, at this part, in this dungeon, you have to you get the risky boots, and that is a really funny plan there. You got risky boots. When I saw it the first time, I laughed so loud. And well, with this part in this puzzle, when you have the risky boss already, so you skip a great number of these dungeons, so you don't have to do the puzzle there, so you just skip directly to Dragon. Let's see how Nori going to get a Dragon.
Yeah, hopefully he'll have a good fight.
And Pipeball, normal Pipeball
isn't technically a tough fight realistically, but he pretty much has a habit of doing a lot of damage if he chooses to. Pretty much what he's going to do is he's just going to keep swooping in from each side of the screen respectively. His RNG pretty much depicts how far across he does. He may come all the way across, he may just go about halfway into the screen. You'll notice that Nori's been going pretty much in line with the pillars at the far edge to pretty much give himself some position just in case he does decide to go far. But Aggron, especially in the later phases, he speeds up. So taking a hit from him is usually about 3 points of damage, and during his faster points, his faster cycles, he could easily hit you twice. So you could look at losing the majority of your health pretty quickly if you have a mistake up against him.
Yeah, and well, Nori had a perfect battle against dragons, so now he's heading for the Frostfight Island. But he got some extra monies, probably for buy some potions later or super Pipeball. But remember that Nori doesn't have any super Pipeball. That is a really risky moment for him, because we need continue.
Oh, sorry, I believe his RNG item-wise has not been very favourable at all, so getting those extra gems is going to help him. He also may consider running directly into the wolves on Frostbite Island. I mean, the wolves themselves have the same drop aspect as the Skull Girls that we saw earlier in the run back on Tan Line, but they're much more stingy. I mean, Skull Girls, you're guaranteed one of the 3 items. The wolves, not so much. But he may consider that, or he's probably considered that to get a few extra drops.
Yeah, well, now in the Frostfight Island, you have to be really precise movement here, avoiding these wolves. And Nori is trying to get a drop there, because the wolf can drop you some super Pipeball, and there is one. Okay, he got one.
Nice. I mean, the wolves are not usually very nice when it comes to item drops, but you're not really sacrificing any major time actually going for the kills. So if you are a bit short, it's always worth doing. Because you never know.
Yeah, normally you ignore the wolves, but this time Nori just decided to kill some wolf for a super Pipeball drop. That is a really rare drop for the wolves. Now, Nori is in Propeller Island. I mean Propeller Town, which is my favorite song of the game. And he ignored the invisible wall there. That is really tricky to do, because well, there's something that doesn't allow you to pass over with the risky shuffle. There's something that stops your momentum, so there's a way to avoid them, and it's really precise to do it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's a couple of screen transitions that has that invisible wall. So for certain ones, and one that was back in the Village of Lost Souls as well, they would start the charge up, and then once they've got the charge, enter the next room, and then activate it, so they can bypass that block.
Yeah, well, what? No, Cabbage just show off the the true ending. Well, now talking seriously, got a game crash and part of the race, so that was really shameful and really bad luck for him because he was going a really good race. It's not big difference, but well, the game they said, "Oh no, I'm going to crash." That happened. No, Nori is back in the Spiderweb Island to get the spirit of Joe. Remember that Barracuda Joe died? Well, this thing is like the comics. We're going to revive.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh.
Well, now he has the spirit of Joe, and he gave that mask to get a fire flare. Because in this part of the game, you don't have any fire flare, and well, it's really convenient that you're going to have a fire flare for Abner. And now he's going to the town. You gave this mystical sword that belongs to the true hero of this game.
Branson. Yeah, again, another one of those items that he collected earlier on in the run to save time, essentially. So that's pretty much what he's going to be going for around here, alongside dropping the sword off the Branson. As mentioned, we've got the soul of Joe figured out, so they'll also be bringing him back from the grave, essentially. They're basically trying to get the group back together, get the troops out, back to Ammo Baron, so then they can hand over the module that they picked up from Bolo back up in Propeller Town. So then they can progress the plot that way, and I wonder how Bolo configured that controller, really. I wonder if he did a good job.
Well, I don't know too. I wonder the same thing. And now, Barracuda Joe just revived and broke up with Sky. He decided there is better fish in the water, so fire Sky and break it out with you. And now Sky is upset. And now you give the targeting mode to Ammo Baron, and there's the part that you ask why Shantae is giving the things to the bad guys. Meanwhile, Cabbage is in the secret room.
Oh, he's going to take on the gauntlet, is he?
Yeah, he's going to.
Mean percent.
Okay. Now you are in the last dungeon of the game, abandoned factory and now Nori's going for the animation skip using the potions, and you have to get 3 Ks and you buy 3 potions to skip the animation of that case. And now nothing much to say here, just good movement and skipping the animation for the gaze, and that's it. And now and later we're going to face
Yeah, I was going to say one particular animation skip I would generally advise, I believe Nori would know as well, the final key that they pick up. There is a chance usually if you don't animate skip that particular key, an ice block could very well land on your head. So using the animation skip there usually negates pretty much negates the possibility as those ice blocks are on real time. So it just helps out avoiding there. But yeah, as I say, next boss in the Steel Maggot. Pretty much RNG the boss. As you'll notice, there's several buttons on his back, and they'll be aiming to hit them in a particular sequence. Fortunately, we have no idea what the sequence is until we actually do it, and it changes with each round as well as each run that we do. I mean, not particularly the hardest boss in the game, but he can cost you a lot of time if he wants to. And yeah, got to be very careful as well, because those bullet spreads does a full heart of damage as well, so he could easily hurt you at the same time as costing you all that precious seconds.
Oh, Nori's having some problems with the RNG of Steel Maggot. That is the problem with this boss. It's not hard to get, but his RNG factor is really annoying. It's really hard to kill optimal this boss. And, well, as I said, it's RNG, and you don't have any chance to know his parent that he's going to give you. But anyway, he got it. He defeated Steel Maggot.
Yep, and down he goes. So he'll be getting his way out, headed off to the Lonely Grave, where the revival of the Pirate Master will ensue. And then they'll pretty much make the final dash. He'll make the final dash over to the tower climb, which is a pretty fun section. When he gets there, you'll notice he'll be trying to reach platforms that he really shouldn't be able to reach. This is to effectively skip out the pirate trolls from the run, because trust me, you don't want to do them. They are not friendly.
Exactly.
But this is done by executing the hat, which actually pushes you up a pixel or two, with also using optimal cannon jumping at the peaks of each of the jumps, and to be able to reach higher end platforms and be able to effectively skip the trials themselves. So hopefully he does well when he gets there.
Yeah, you got it. Well, now he heading to the town, to the tower. Well, facing the final boss of the game, the Pirate Master himself. There's as Norris explained it, there is a skip, the tower skip, which is really precise. It needs a lot of practice, and it's really hard to get the first try. So let's see how Nori going for that trick. Sorry. Okay, let's see. As I said, it's a really precise trick, and nope. There's one try, second try. Oh, that part of the game that when the game said I'm not going to deploy the hat. That is really painful. Well, it got at least at the third time. The first one.
That can happen from time to time, the hat not deploying. I don't really know why, but
that happens sometimes.
I suppose there's RNG in the controls as well.
Yeah.
Why not? We've got enough of it.
Nori, he had a really decent climb. At least he had the third try. At least it's a great number to get the tower skip. And now Nori is fighting with the Pirate Master. And the Pirate Master has a real RNG factor where he's going to spawn, where he appear. Going to appear to the left or right or the middle. The most convenient is appearing to the middle. Yeah,
the captivated final boss. He's he's pretty simplistic for the most part, but he can do a lot of damage. The bubble comes into play for this fight because the bullet spread attack will one-shot Shantae and will effectively end the run. But I mean, he's still got his auto potion, so he's got that for safety.
And GG.
GG.
44, 29 for...
44?
No, 54, sorry. I was
going to say 44, well, record.
No.
Nice.
No, 40, 54, sorry. I always been really bad saying the numbers, sorry for that.
You ain't the only one, don't worry about it. So if we go by the times, I mean, Cabbage Games had 42.06, so he's absolutely destroyed it.
Damn. Well.
Nori having another very good run there. I mean, his opening race, I believe he had a 54.09, so he's got consistency on his side and picks up his first win in the group Shantae. Unfortunate luck for Cabbage Games, suffering that game crash a bit earlier on. But unfortunately, it can happen, and having to lose a run that's not within your power is something you really don't want to see.
Yeah, now let's see if Nori and Cabbage are going to get the interview. Let's see if they wanted to. Okay, they signed it.
Both of them in there.
Yes, so...
Do you know how to bring them in? Because I have no clue.
No, they are in the waiting room, so I told them to. Hello.
Hey, Cabbage, hey, Nori.
What up?
Well, that was really a fortunate, Cabbage, that game crash, because it was being a great race, and if I'm not wrong, you're going in a PB pace too. So
that was gonna be an easy PB pace, like about a minute ahead of my PB right now.
Oh.
Yeah. That was a very big unfortunate. I mean, you had some really good RNG drops going early on in the run as well.
I know, that double super pike ball that
yeah. You got
I must say, I must say, I personally thank you for getting true percent ending there. that was brilliant.
Yeah, I was like,
we just lapping our backsides off in here.
Yeah, I was like, I could just sit around and do nothing. And I was like, you know what? I'm just mess around for 20 minutes, and that's what I did. I did the wet man skip as well. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I noticed it when it got mentioned in the chat. I was like, oh, well, that's running valid.
Yeah.
That was a very big shame. I mean, I've mentioned a few times as we was going through the run that having to lose a run and lose a race from something that's pretty much out of your control is a very big shame. But fair play to you being a good sport and just having a good laugh with what you're doing afterwards and just having a little mess around there.
I mean, like you said, out of your control, so nothing you can do, and that just it just means I'll be super ready for my next race.
Yeah, and Nori, good run there. Really good run, but you had a really weird RNG, especially with the drop. Nori,
he's speechless.
Sorry. Oh.
Here, I'll talk for him. Yeah, it was it was really good RNG. I think I felt like it was a pretty decent run. I don't know. I mean, could have been better. There's some things I messed up on, but it was fine.
Wow, you guys could not hear me, could you?
No,
we couldn't.
Fucking Discord, man, I swear. All right, so no, actually, opposite of exactly what Cabbage just said. I was very salty throughout that entire run, to be honest. I mean, the RNG was absolutely atrocious. I had to go 4 shopping trips just to make it through the run to barely have enough stuff. I mean, it was bad. And
yeah, unfortunately, forced you to go regular milk and regular pieball for squid parent, which I'm going to guess you wasn't too best pleased about.
No, I was extremely not happy about that either. I'm just happy that I didn't lose my auto potion in that fight because it's been a long time since I've had to do that. Yeah, not happy with that. That said, though, I really freaked out when I saw Cabbage forfeit from the race. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? And no one communicated, because I know we talked about this in the planning of the tournament quite a bit, and game crashes being what they are. You know, I hate somebody taking an L on something that's a little bit out of their control. So, Cabbage, I don't know if you're up for it, but another time, maybe we could schedule and redo this run. This race, you know, just to have a little bit more competitiveness in it, because that crash, and I knew it was going to come up sometime during this tournament.
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you, but I'm more than willing to reschedule this race and give you another shot.
I mean, I'll think about it, but like I came in and I looking at your PB and looking at mine, like I knew that it was like 99% sure it was gonna be an L. So I'm honestly, I'm fine taking the L, but you know, if we really want to, I'm always down for another race.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I mean, I hate seeing people take a loss for something like this. I was really worried that this was going to be a thing, especially in the planning phase. So yeah, we'll talk about it, and I'll determine, you know, what I want to do with this particular race. So. But
it was also like
GG, and thanks for the glitch showcase and showing true ending. So
yeah,
yeah. Whatever you two decide. I mean, fair enough. I mean, as you mentioned, we did discuss this about what would happen or what would constitute from the game crash. So we'll leave that down to you to decide. But we'll say, at least for this, I mean, Nori, you've still got within the 54 range again. So you've run so far within this tournament have been consistent. So you got to be happy about that.
No, I can't, because it's been consistently bad RNG on both ends. That's why they're 54s.
Yeah, but RNG is always going to be a factor, but you're still running well. So
yeah, I mean, my execution was really good. I mean, that run Ruddy Tops was flawless. Like, everything went perfect in that. My tan line escape wasn't bad. I hated having to get the extra gems, but the way RNG was, you know, I mean, I was ahead of my PB after the spider, and that was a bad fight. But everything after that, based on what I had, I thought the execution was well, and I'm glad I was able to at least perform, even though the RNG didn't want to give me the best items. You know, I still was able to execute pretty well.
Well, yeah, it's it all comes with the territory.
Yep.
But anyway, you made it. So with this atrocious RNG, you made it. So and well, I'm agree to, if you want to reschedule this race, I'm agree, because well, a game crash that's something that nobody wants, and well, we need to be more fair with this thing. So
yeah, it's something we
really agree with this.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot in our planning phase for this, and as the organizers there, I've said it multiple times, if somebody has a game crash, it'll leave it up to the runners respectively if they want to reschedule that run or not. So Cabbage, you and I will talk. In the meantime, I don't want to keep speed gaming too long, I'm sure. So
yeah, no,
I appreciate the race and having me on yet again. So
yeah, it was fun. I had fun.
Showing the true ending. That was great.
No, let's not go back there. We don't have a laughing fit again. In a good way.
Me too. We both have been laughing so hard with the true ending.
But anyway, be sure to follow our runners today. Both NoriMaki, who's been a veteran of this of the Shantae series for some time now, and kabbagegame for putting on that very interesting glitch expo and being such a good sport after suffering something very unfortunate there. Just to also mention out, we have more races for you tomorrow. We have a kickoff of the Sound Defense and Mail-In, kicking off at 4 PM EDT time, followed by our commentator to the left of me, really, Goofy versus Mijotti at 11 PM EDT. So stick around, come show up tomorrow, and have some fun with those guys. It should be a blast. And also,
don't forget to follow
give
these
me a follow.
commentators.
He's a good
don't,
one.
don't forget to follow your commentators as well, Pete.
That's not a commentator.
That
That's
that
the
is
wrong
not the
commentator.
runners and the commentators. They didn't update the game and the title and commentators. Well, whatever.
Any final words from any of you here?
I'm really happy with my world record pace of 42 minutes.
Destroyed.
Yeah, I'll see you in the finals, Turkey. I'm coming for you.
I may not make it. You don't know yet. Right, so with that being said, as always, we appreciate you showing your support and stopping by. We sincerely hope you enjoyed yourselves, and take care. And we will catch you for the next Shantae runs tomorrow. So take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
Kisses.
See ya. See you.